Sometimes the most powerful learning techniques are the ones that seem almost deceptively simple. Today, we're going to dive into one of those, a classroom strategy that's a total powerhouse for learning a new language. And it all boils down to one key action: rotation.
All right, so let's get right into it. The specific activity we're looking at is called pair greeting rotations. The idea is pretty straightforward. Students get into pairs to practice some basic phrases. But here's where the magic really happens. Every couple of minutes, they have to get up and switch partners.
So how does this actually play out in a real classroom? Well, the genius of this whole thing is its elegance and its simplicity. It's all built around a predictable, structured loop that's designed to be super low stress for students, but at the same time, deliver a really high-impact learning experience.
It really just breaks down into this simple three-step dance. First, you greet your partner. Second, you practice whatever expressions you're working on for a minute or two. And third, and this is the crucial part, you rotate to a new partner and start the whole thing over again. It's that constant, structured movement that makes all the difference.
And that brings us to the core question, right? Why does this actually work so well? I mean, why is moving between different partners so much more effective than just practicing with one person for 10 minutes? Well, as we're about to see, the answer has a lot less to do with simple repetition and way more to do with dynamic interaction.
So the first major benefit here is the incredible power of peer practice. This one little change, the rotation, completely transforms the classroom into this dynamic, collaborative learning space.
The key idea here, and this is pulled right from our source, is all about peer learning. See, what this activity does is it intentionally moves the spotlight off the teacher. It shifts the focus away from a single source of knowledge and really empowers students to start learning from each other.
And just think about that for a second. When you practice with different classmates, you get to hear how other people interpret the same phrases. You can kind of gently correct each other, you learn from what they're doing right, and you build your own confidence in a really low-stakes, safe environment. It builds this amazing sense of community, this feeling that, hey, we're all in this together.
But that's not all. There is another massive benefit to this, especially if you're learning a language that has complex sounds or tones. It's all about getting your ear ready for the incredible diversity of the real world. I mean, this hits on a huge challenge in any language class. If you only ever hear your teacher speak, your brain gets really comfortable with their specific accent, their pitch, their rhythm. But the second you walk outside that classroom, bam, you're hit with this overwhelming variety of voices.
This is where that rotation becomes a powerful training tool. It's like a workout for your ears. It forces you to constantly adapt your listening skills. With every single new partner, you're hearing the same phrase but with slightly different intonations, different rhythms. It makes you so much more adaptable for those real-world conversations.
Okay, so let's boil this all down to the core takeaway. When we put this rotational method up against a more traditional approach, what is the one fundamental thing that makes it so much more effective?
Here it is, side by side. With static, one-partner practice, your exposure is super limited. And let's be honest, it gets repetitive and boring fast. Rotational practice, on the other hand, makes the whole experience dynamic. Every new partner is a new voice, a slight variation, and that keeps your brain switched on, actively engaged, and actually learning. So, at the end of the day, the secret ingredient here isn't just the practice itself, it's the rotation. That simple act of moving from person to person is what literally multiplies the value of the entire exercise. It builds both your skill and your confidence way more efficiently than a static drill ever could.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This principle of dynamic rotational practice is obviously incredibly powerful for learning a language. So it makes you wonder, where else could we apply this? How could this simple idea of structured rotation completely transform other areas of study, or work, or even skill development?